Hello and welcome to class today. Today I'll be taking you through the process of how to make a simple loafer shoe. The pattern drawing will be, the video for the pattern drawing will be sent to you, so just relax. We'll start, the pattern is already cut already, so I will definitely send the video of the pattern drafting to you. Alright, but let's start with the pattern that has already been marked on the leather, and we have to start cutting it out. Now it's important that you follow the details of what you're seeing here so that you can get the exact results. So once you have the pattern with you, you cut it out. You mark it on the leather face, then you cut it out. Well, so you can see me cutting it out here, simple and clear. When cutting, you should always know that your scissors has to be sharp. So I have what I call my leather scissors, and also have the scissors I use in cutting my Nora and other hard things I need to cut. So it's not the same leather that scissors that I use. So please note that let your scissors be separate for the leather and the one that I use in cutting hard things like your sole and so on and so forth. That's very important. So while cutting, please hold your scissors firm. It's important to use your scissors because cutting is a very important thing in shoemaking, because there's some cutting that taping will not cover, so you need to cut it out, and what you cut out is what you're going to get. So you can see what you see here. This is called a laser cutting. Laser cutting means that your cutting is not perfect to the point whereby it's more like you're using a machine to cut it, and that's what it means. So we keep cutting until we get all the necessary place that we need to cut out perfectly well. So we're making a pair, so you cut the one side and the other side. One thing you should note about this is that when cutting out this, there is no left and right for this one. When cutting out, there is no left and right. So you choose to use anyone for the left and right. But as time goes on, when you're separating, when you begin to fix the bodies, then you need to select your left and right. So that's something that you need to note. So, but when starting it, you can see that when I'm cutting it, I did not place anything for a left and right. Or if it was another design, I might try to choose left and right. Like your boots, you should have your left and your right for that. Okay, so this is the cutting out, and then that is how I'm gonna cut it out. The next thing we're gonna be doing right now is to use our pattern. This is the pattern that I'll be drafting for you later on, and I'll be showing you the process of how I drafted out the pattern, so you'll be able to get it perfectly well. So this pattern has a loafers design at the front. So the loafers design for this one is the weaving at the front. So this is the mark for the weaving that I'm marking there and showing you. So this mark of the weaving is freehand sketching that I did by myself, and it came out perfectly well. So it's something that you can learn, and you would have to go through it. Practice make perfect. The more you do it, the more you get better. So I'm not marking this time around on the face, I'm marking at the back of the leather. Yes, the reason I'm marking at the back of the leather is because the reason I'm at the back of the leather is because I need to put a particular rope in between to make it puff out. You're gonna see it as time goes on, so please just note that. In all through, yes, this marking is very important, and make sure that it shows very well. If your marker is not showing very well, you can use your pen, whichever one that will show very well. You can see it has the marking there, and I'm showing you, and you can connect it together if you decide to connect. But let me just leave it like this, and let's move on. So you'll be applying gum on that particular side that you mark, and that's the reason why I said let it show very well, because if it doesn't show very well, the gum will cover it up and you'll not be able to see it very well again. So make sure that it shows very well. That's the rope that we're using, and this is just a tiny rope. You can get it in the market. You can just look at this rope. It's not something big, because if the rope is big, it will puff out too much and you won't like it. So we're applying our gum on the body of the rope, and also on the part, or this part of the leather where we already marked. So after applying the gum, I'm gonna allow it to get dry a little. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Then I begin to connect those dots together. I already marked those places I dotted, so mark them together so it can show very well on the gum, because when you apply the gum might not allow it to show very well. So you need to start joining them together. I intentionally allowed apply the gum first before I start joining them together, because it will just almost result to the same thing. So after then, I'll begin to follow the line, and as we're following the line, just make sure that you don't lose the shape of the design that you want to bring out. Please note that we're not just following the line just for following sake. That particular shape that we drew on the pattern must come out exactly the same way. So once you do this, once you do the one you're good to go, then you turn it upside down. Then you begin to use your hand to fix it like this. Just your hand to move it like this, so it will bring out the shape of the rope that you place in between the leather. Can you see? This is how to bring out. This is the trick behind it, and it's very, very important that you go through it. Now, another thing is this: some might decide to put a particular light leather to cover it. Maybe like a lining, something soft to cover it at the back. But sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't do that, depending on the kind of leather that I'm using. So for this one, I decided to just leave it like that. If I'm making do with maybe a fabric, I might decide to put a light leather to support it at the back to make it firm. Okay, so the same thing you do to the other leg, that's what you do to the right leg. Like I told you, at this time we're not separating the left and the right. So what you do to one leg is what you do to the other leg. Just make sure that you bring this particular design out properly. Where sometimes you might want to puff up, you are the one that will have to use your hand to correct it and still maintaining the shape. It is very important that I still maintain the shape. As you can see, this is looking so beautiful already, and we're already good to go with our design. All right, this is cool. Okay, so this is what we're going to have. Yes, making sure that everything is well aligned. Even when it's trying to puff up, don't worry. You're going to get it. Just make sure that everything aligned. So this is what we're going to have at the end of the day. All right, the next thing we're doing now is to punch. Now, the punching of this, some people punch it on the pattern, while I can do a free hand punching. Now, the punching is the distance that you want between each punch. So this is what I'm doing now. Can you see the distance? You can use 0.2 cm, 0.2 cm. That's what you can use standard. But I just do my freehand sketch because I already know the exact punching that I want. So as I use my marker to dot them, I punch. I use my marker to dot, I punch. That's what I do. So just use your marker to dot little by little, 0.2 gaps in between. So the punching will be on both sides. Please note, the punching will be on both sides. So you can see I'm punching one side and the other, both sides. That's what I'm punching. So you'll be able to weave it. Very important that you do this and follow through. Do not allow the spacing to be too much, and it must not be too close to the to the particular parts that you are already designed out. So just let the spacing be a bit between each other, 0.2 gaps, and as you're punching, I know the camera is not as close as you want it to be, but you see it clearly and you see the outcome, so you understand. And also, any question that you want, you can also reach out to me. Then I'm going to be able to answer those questions for you. So this is how we're going to punch all this through. As we're marking them, we're punching them, marking them. If you want the easier way to do it, you can, if you're a beginner, you can just punch it on your pattern, so you'll be able to know the exact places that you are punching. All right. So this is how I punch mine, and because especially when I have something to do that is very fast, I just go through the fast route, and it comes out perfectly well. No difference between each lines, because I already know. I've been doing it for years, so I already know the exact punching lines that I need to punch. But if you're a beginner, I advise you to just put it on the pattern, which I'm going to be showing you when I send you the video for the pattern, and you'll be able to see it there. All right. So let's keep punching. We're going to punch it till when we get to the last edge there, because this is a loafers pattern, and this particular pattern has a rope in between. So if you forgot, I'm just trying to remind you that there's a rope in between there. So you're not going to punch on the rope, please. You're just going to punch beside the rope when you carve that particular spacing out. So which I'm already punching here, as you can see. So after this punching, what we're going to be doing is to weave it. You're going to be seeing how I weave from the beginning to the end. No hidden secret. Everything will be revealed to you. So you'll be able to go through the same process, and you're going to weave yours from wherever you are in the world. Okay, so this is it. We're almost there. Now this is the outcome of the punching. The punching holes, I already punched them. You can see them. It went perfectly well. Then I'm gonna just move. You do the same thing to the other leg. to just making sure that everything is aligned and the rope is not shifting. It's very important that we do that. All right, so the next we're going to be doing now is to weave. Now to weave it, what you need to do is to pick up your needle. This needle is a big needle, and put the loafers thread. I use the loafers thread. It's not just the normal, it's not the thread for sewing machine. Please note, it's called loafers thread. Loafers thread is thicker and is more expensive, it's big. So this is the thread we use. Measure it at arm's length and just leave a little extra. So, and push it through in between the thread. So then we start weaving. Let the needle pass through. Let the needle, that's the needle that you're seeing there, let it pass through underneath the first hole. Then you bring it out. Then you pass it to the hole beside. Please note, you're not going to bring everything. I'm going to leave a little at the back. So it's going to, the other one's going to pass beside. Then bring it out again. Then do that again repeatedly on the same hole, please, on the same hole. So the first one we have something like a double stitching. The double stitching, that's what the first one will have. Why the second one? You're gonna pass it through the next one, but the next one will now go back to meet the first one. This one is something that you need to pay attention to. When you pass the next thread, it will go back to meet the first one. So then you bring it out again. This is how you'll be doing it all through around. Pass it. It's gonna meet the first one that you weaved. Then it will come out again. So when you are doing your practicals, you can follow through with me. I'll take you through this process because you might need some little bit of deeper explanation as regarding it, but it's very, very simple. Once you get it right, and you just continue to weave. So the process of the weaving, you just keep on the same process, the same thing I'm doing. Pass it through. As you're passing it through, and you're making it a bit tight. No, don't. And another thing is, don't make it too tight, please. Don't make it too tight. Let it relax. Let it relax. Don't make it too tight. This is very important that you note. Very, very important that you note. So you're going to be weaving all through round from the beginning till the ending of those punch holes. That's what we'll be weaving. And this weaving is a bit different from another type of loafers. But they are almost the same. So if you can weave like this, you should be able to weave the other design of loafers. All right. So this is it. We're weaving all through from the beginning. So just enjoy the ride as you're weaving. Weaving can be a bit boring, but just keep weaving because you have to weave them till you get to the last one. So when you get to the last one, what you did at the beginning is what you're going to do to the last one. So you're going to double it also, just the way you doubled the first stitch to end it all. So we're just going to follow through. I didn't want to just cut anything out for you. I want to see that I went through the process one after the other. So you'll be going through it. Another thing, I don't miss one O, please. Always, that's why weaving takes time, and it requires that you focus, because if you miss one O, you have to lose it and go back to that particular O, and you don't want to do that at all. So that's why you need to pay maximum attention while weaving, because the O's are a bit close, so you might want to put the needle in another O that is before, and you miss one O, and once you miss one O, it will affect the other O's, and it will not align. So what you see is that your shoe is bent, and that will not come out very well. So every O that you are passing through is very important. So please note that. So I'm taking your time so that you're able to go through all this. As you can see that I'm still on this minute, and it's the O's are still, I'm still weaving, but that's just the process of how to make it. So when you are charging your customer, you already know that this is not a diesel. So please note that handmade shoes takes time, it takes process, it takes patience, and anyone who is in an hurry cannot really make an handmade shoe, because handmade shoe takes time, it takes process, and to get the perfect result that you really want. And if you go through every details, you will surely come out with the best result, I'm telling you, and your customers will be so excited that they did business with you. All right, so just to keep on going through with the process of this, please remember that every hole is very important. Do not be in a hurry to jump on hole because you want to finish on time. All right. So make sure that you practice this. The practicing of this is very important. When you practice it over and over again, you get results. Like they say, practice make perfect. So practicing it over and over again, it makes sense. All right. So while I'm stretching, I'm also checking it out, stretching out, so it won't be too tight. That's why I'm a bit stretching it out. I don't want it to be too tight. All right. So this is going through, and this weaving is going on for over some few minutes now. As you can see, my weaving has taken a little bit of my time in the shoemaking process, but that's still part of the shoemaking process. Now, another thing is this: if you have a local market around you, some people just give it to the local shoe cobblers around that knows how to weave. Not everybody knows how to do this. Please note, not everybody. So sometimes somebody look for someone that they can teach, that'll be helping them weave, in case you find this boring. But this part is something that you should know by yourself, and make by yourself, design it by yourself. Because the more you do it, I have done this with that uncountable number of time. I prefer to do it myself because I'm the one that know the details of what I want to really get. All right. So we're already getting to the last part, which we're going to be double stitching. Just the last one will be double stitching. Then you pass it under, let the needle pass through all the stitches under, and you roll it there and you bring it out. I don't know if you understand that. Pass the needle through underneath the stitches under to tight it when you get to the last one. This is the last one. As you can see, I've tight it, and I'm going to be cutting out the excesses, and we are done with that. So this is our result. So don't worry about the squeezing part, that's part of it. So it's still going to stretch, and when you put it on your leather, on your last, this is what you have. As you can see, this is looking so beautiful already. The weaving. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to the other one, which I'm not gonna show you because this is the same process. So not to bore you at all. So that's the same thing that we did to the one leg, we do to the other leg. All right. So just make sure that you weave. All right. Now this one is the last. After that, this is the last. I want this last is last 44, but I want to make it last 45. So what I just did, I come out my cardboard, and I double it. I double the cardboard and measure it to make sure that it is 45 length 45. So this is help me increase the length 45. And if you want to also increase the height, that's maybe the instep, you can also pad it by placing a pad underneath the last. That so you'll be having something that goes exactly for 45. All right. So that is how to increase. There are different ways of increasing last length, but you don't increase last length too much. You can increase 44 to 45. You can increase 43 to 44. But when you're going from 44 to 44 to 46, no. It's already, because the shape of the last itself is meant for that particular size. So putting too much of additional increase will give you another shape, and it will not even fit into the customer leg. So most time you can only increase by one size, and even increasing by one size, you still need to be careful. You need to pad it underneath. So note that is very important. That lesson I gave to you there, and I'm sure you give me a thumbs up for that. All right. So the next thing I'll be doing after weaving is to stitch the back measurement, as you've seen in the video. And I'm going to use my pattern to draw out the back curve. This back curve is very important. It's on your pattern, so that's what I'm using. If the back of the shoe is not curved, you've done absolutely rubbish, because the back of the shoe is meant to curve so that it will hold the back side of your leg. So that curvy part is very important in your pattern. That is very, very important. So that's why I had to take my time to show you this. And so you can just, when you're stitching, you're not just stitching a straight line, you're stitching something that is curvy. All right. So curve it, make sure that the backside looks useful. So because if it is not curved, when the customer put on the shoe will be pulling out of the customer's leg. So when the customer comes to tell you that, oh, I made a shoe from you and the shoe is pulling out of my leg, check the back part. Is the back straight or is the back curved? Once the back is curved, the shoe can't pull out of the customer's leg. So you'll be stitching the back, just stitch it. You can use your gum to hold it, and make sure that you join it together. You can use the gum to hold if you like, but just make sure that they are exactly equal. All right. So that stitching doesn't take time. You just stitch it, and this is the stitching process. Uh, just and when you get to the last part, you can lock it up by reversing your stitching gear, and you are good to go. All right. So cut out the excesses after stitching, close to the line but not on the line, please. It's close to the line but not on the line. You can see there that those curve is very important. That's what I'm trying to point out to you there. All right, cut out the excess thread that are hanging around, because there will be some excess thread hanging around and you don't want that to mess up your work. So like, I can see how the curvy part brought out the back part of the shoe. So when you see a shoe, you know that that curvy part is very important. Okay, so checking it out on the last, how it's going to come out, this is exact way it's going to come out. Very important. All right, so you can do that to the other leg also and you get the same results. After that, the next we'll be doing is to bring out the back strap, because we need to cover up this particular side of the shoe. So we have something called the back strap. This is how to draw the back strap. Fold your cardboard or your paper into two. Yes, fold it into two like this. Then you're going to be cutting out this back side. Please watch what I'm doing here. Pick up your pencil, your paper, your marker, or whatever you're using, and draw a curvy line towards the back side. It's more like you're drawing something straight, but it's not straight, but it's a bit curvy. So look at how the curve part will be. So when I bring it out, you're going to see it more clearly for you to be able to understand. So this is how it's going to be. Can you see? But this is a bit wide. So this I'll be reducing it until I get the exact measurement that I want. Now you can decide to use a standard measurement for yourself. Maybe you want to use, you can whatever standard measurement you use, you can use a tape rule to measure it. And this is what's going to cover the back for us. All right. So you're going to transfer this on a piece of leather, then you cut it out. So this is the transfer on the piece of leather, on the face of the leather, and I'm marking it out. When I mark it out, and look for the other one, then I also cut it out. So the cutting out is laser cutting. Make sure that you hold your scissors firm. If you don't hold the scissors firm, you just see that you're cutting something that doesn't make sense at all. All right, so this is my cutting, and I'm going through with it. Okay, all right, this is what's going to happen to the back. Yes, this is exactly what we want, and we're already getting it. All right, so we're applying gum at the back side. Yes, we're applying gum at the back side, also on the body of the strap itself, so that we can be able to gum it. Okay, so apply your gum on the back side very well. Yes, make it get to the necessary places that it needs to get to. Yes, and you can do that to the other leg also, and also make sure that you apply the gum on the back strap so you won't forget. Apply the gum on the back strap. Yes, this is the application. All right, so after then we like to get dry a little bit, then we start fixing it. So just apply a gum on this underside also. Yes, let it show very well. These are very, very important. Okay, so don't just go ahead and make a shoe without covering the back. If you are not covering the back, there's a shoe that don't cover the back, but you must make sure that the stitching is holding well, so that the shoe does not lose at the end of the day. All right, so do the same thing to the other, like which we've already done. Then while we apply gum on this, we are waiting for the other to dry. So we're gonna picking up the other one now. Picking up the other one, then we'll start gumming it. You can see why I told you to leave allowance up there. So I intentionally allowed those allowance to be the pattern to be a bit longer than the measurement of the upper itself, so that there'll be extras and I'll be able to cut them out. So you can see how curvy that part is. So since it is curved, you can even press in. So I'm going to be stitching this part. Look at the back. That's what I'm talking about. That's the back. Don't worry about the excesses. We're still going to cut those excesses out. So start stitching. You can start stitching through the back strap. Is just the back line, and the stitching is very simple. It's a straight sewing stitching, so you don't have any problem. So this is the stitching, as you can see there. I'm going to be stitching both legs, and also you can stitch the other side for in order to hold it very well. Okay, don't forget that you need to stitch this back. Please don't forget. If you make a shoe and you don't stitch the back, the shoe is going to get pieces at the end of the day, and you wouldn't like it, because all your effort can just go like that. So you don't want to do that. All right. So just make sure that you stitch it. Once you finish stitching the back, then we'll cut out those excesses that are puffing out. So be cutting out those excesses that are puffing out. This is the stitching. Look at how the stitching is very neat. And some excesses puffing out. We'll be cutting out those ones so that it's going to align very well. So this is going to look on the last. You can see that the back strap has already been stitched, and so we are looking. It's already making sense. Wow, this is looking lovely already, and this is gonna come out perfectly well. Perfectly well. Okay, so I'm gonna do that also to the other leg, which I believe you should understand now. So as time goes on, I'll just be making one leg since it's the same design we're making for the two legs. So there's no need for us to keep wasting much time. The most important thing that you understand the concept. So the exercises that after stitching the back strap on it, the exercise that is coming up from the back, you can just trim it so that it will be okay for you to last, because those exercises can disfigure your shoe if you do not remove them. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to draw the lining pattern. So you're going to be using the pattern itself to draw the lining. Yes, so you're going to be drawing the full part of, just like you want to mark the pattern for the upper. Mark the full part of the shoe. Mark it both sides, left and right, as a pair. You're marking it. Yes, this is very, very cool. All right. So we're marking. Once you mark this out, we're going to be cutting out. Once we cut it out, then we are going to be fixing the lining to the upper. The cutting is very important, so we're going to be patient a little bit so that we can cut out the lining. This is very crucial and important. All right. So now, after cutting out the lining, there's something I want you to note, because this might save you a lot of trouble. Okay. So we're cutting it out, and we're cutting all the excesses that needs to be cut out, making sure that no excesses is left there. All right, I think we're good to go. So what you need to do is cut out the middle part, but fold the lining into two, and cut out just that edge of the middle part. Yes, this particular side. Cut out a little bit. Then you see some spacing for easy stitching. This is majorly for easy stitching. I'll do the same thing to the other leg. Fold it to them. It's gonna help you for easy stitching. Okay, so the next we're gonna be doing is to stitch that back. The back, yes, the curvy part. We're gonna be stitching that back. The stitching of the back has to be very accurate. Please note that you're not stitching it straight. Follow the line that you marked at the back and let it be curved the way it is on the pattern. Don't just stitch because you want to stitch. Follow the lines, please. And when after that, you're going to be cutting out the excesses and still following the line, which will make it still curve. Please note that. That's very important. Cut out the excesses of the threads that you find around there. Then these I'm going to place it on the line and on the upper itself. See, the lining and the upper are being placed together, right? You can see. So this is going to be before we start applying our gum. So, but first of all, let's quickly treat the back side, which we cut out the excesses. You just use put it last, and eat it very well, so that the place will be a bit relaxed. I want it to be relaxed. That's why. So this particular side that you stitch together, the back side, just use your hammer to spread it and eat it down. You can even put gum at the side and make it flat so that it will be very okay. But I just did this like this because I already cut out the excesses, and it's just little that is left at the back. So this is what we're going to be having. The upper and the lining are already ready for gumming, so we'll be fixing them together. And another thing you need to learn is is that when you're applying the gum must be very fresh. It mustn't be a dry gum, please. The gum must be very fresh because you're fixing this immediately. You're not letting it to get dry. Once it gets dry, you'll be having problem with fixing it together. So you don't want that at all. So don't be very fast with it. Apply your gum on time. Let the gum still be very fresh, and make sure the gum gets just the edges, please. Even from the front part will just be a little bit of the front part. You can see where I'm putting gum, not all the whole part of the shoe. This is the upper side, not the whole part of the shoe. This is the main leather. Please note. not the whole part of the shoe, all this side, just the edges, because they are the parts that we are fixing together. All right, so once you leave this one side, quickly pick up your lining, the edges of the lining also where you mark, because the mark of the pattern will still be there. So you can just put gum around also and let it still be fresh the same way that other one is fresh. And you don't want to waste much time, and because you don't want the both of them to be dry. Even right now, you will see that this other one's already getting dried. So when we're fixing, we might have been having a little bit of challenge, but we'll definitely fix it because it's not completely dry. So that is very important for you to note. And also make sure that the gums are well spread very well. Don't worry about the following exact line. It can be over the line, so it will be able to fit in very well. So pick up the upper and start fixing them together. So I'm picking it up right now. Start from the back side, please. Start from the back side, so you'll be able to align them together. The mark at the back and the mark on the lining for the back, that's the back seaming, the back joining, we must be on the same line. So you can see the reason why I said you should not allow it to get dry. Once it gets dry, you're gonna be having a lot of problems. You can see that despite the fact that it's still wet, I have to still be opening it and refixing them. That's one of the things that you face when you're using this particular method. Okay, so just make sure that you allow the gum to be fresh. If the gum is fresh, it will align very well. So it's just something that you need to spread very well so that for it to lap on the lining itself. All right, so this is very easy, just very easy. Now if you are using the other method of lining, you might find it even much more easier than this, which we use for some of my other videos that I've sent to you. So you can watch that method and you can use that. This is another method of lining I'm teaching you. So, but make sure that it's not rumpled at the front, please. If you notice that it's rumpled, you might decide to just open it so that, and also cut out this excess of the lining. This is the lining, not the main leather, please. The rest of the lining will be dragging it a bit, so you need to cut it out. When you know that it's already well fixed, you may need to cut it out so that it will lap very well. Once I'm very sure that it's already lapped very well, then there's no cause for alarm. So position it very well, then let it lay. You will know that it has laid even from the back of the lining. You will know. If it's still rumpled, you might need to open it. But when opening, you have to be careful so that your leather does not get torn. Please, that is very important. So we'll be cutting out those excesses right on the line. Please be cutting out on the line of the upper. We're not cutting the upper here. We're cutting just the excesses of the lining. Please note that we're not cutting the upper leather. We're cutting the excesses of the line. I'm emphasizing that so that you will not go and cut your leather. All right. So those excesses might need to be cut out. Will have to be cut out, not just might have to be cut out, but patiently, so that you will not cut out your leather. And this is what we're going to be having. Yes. So just put it on the last. Let's see how it comes out. Look at how it came out. This is looking so beautiful and lovely, right? So this is what we're going to be having. Don't worry about those parts. Those parts is going to stretch when we're lasting. It's going to stretch. Just make sure that you're following through with what I'm doing. Open it up a little for easy for you to be very. If you notice anything that is rumpled, it will be there. And we're still going to fix all these ones. So that's how to fix this part. We're still going to be taping it. So I'll see you in the next post. Just make sure that you stay tuned. God bless you.